Good morning, friends. Yesterday was a pretty good day for getting our reading done. We just have one person who didn't get her sentences done. We did have 5 people that still didn't see that there's 2 super sentences, right? 2 super sentences. So you guys owe me a sentence. All right. Those people who are doing 2 sentences and watching my video every morning, you're like, why does Miss Haley keep going over that? Well, now you see why. All right, so discussion, we're just missing actually one because Amarani does something else. And then Dreambox. So we had a few people holdouts on Dreambox yesterday. So we have 3, 6, 9, 10 people that did not do their Dreambox yesterday. So make sure you're making it up today. Get on there for that hour, right? Or do 45 minutes today and 45 minutes tomorrow. One person might be looking at this and saying, I was on Dreambox. I know, but you didn't complete any lessons. So that means you weren't really on Dreambox. You were on it, but didn't do anything. All right, so here we go. A couple people I wanted to celebrate. Cheyenne and Jason were so sweet when they were on there. They were complimenting other people's work. Nice job, Cheyenne and Jason. Dreambox lessons yesterday. Aiden Palmer completed 9 lessons, Michaela 8, Nariah 7, Samuel and Nariah, sorry, Nariah, how do you do 7 and 5? Hold on, that's somebody else. Lessons completed. Nariah 7, Samuel and Kaylee 5. So this is Kaylee. Jason 4, Donald 3. Nice job working, guys. Over here, standards. So when you're doing these lessons, you end up doing a few lessons. Once they know that you've got it, you progress in a standard. Kaylee went through 5 standards yesterday. She finished 5. Nariah 4, Donald 3, and Aiden Palmer 3. Beautiful job working on your Dreambox. It's really impressive to see some people just taking this and going with this online learning because it's hard. It's hard to keep motivated. Alrighty, some super sentences I just wanted to go over because they were pretty good. The word was fearless. Bodie was fearless when he pulled Derek by his diaper to safety. It's a pretty good sentence, right? Derek's mother felt betrayed when she found out Mrs. James had been lying about the events leading to Susan's death. Beautiful sentence. When my big sister and I get into fights, we both feel outrage, right? Outrage is a feeling. You feel outrage. You can be outraged, right? But you feel outrage. After the events, Mrs. James decided to conjure up a lie in place of what really happened. I loved that sentence. I thought it was cool. Here they started with the when, right? So when you start with the when, you put the comma. And I love the conjure up a lie. As Lauren tassels Derek's hair, he cannot help but wonder what she is thinking. Where was tassels? All right, you also had to write a news article. And there were some really good ones. So remember, a news article is just the facts. You have to think, you're not really giving me a sing-songy thing, right? You're not giving me a summary of events. You're pretty much just telling me who, what, where, when, why. So I thought Kaylee's was really good. It said, today on South Beach, young girl Susan James drowns due to undertow in the water. She was there with her friend Lauren and a young child. Lauren grabbed the boy, Derek, and ran to look for help. 2 men in the parking lot jumped in the water to save her. Lauren called Susan's mother from the parking lot. Now, this one, the only thing I would change is I would cut this out, right? And what I would say is, unfortunately, their help was too late. Their help was futile. Their help was, and Lauren passed, right? Lauren died. All right, so here we have this one from Samuel, and I thought this one was fantastic as well. Or this one's Nariah. So what really happened to Susan James on South Beach? She gave it a title, right? On a sunny summer afternoon in South Beach, well beyond the lifeguard station, a young woman decided to go meet some friends. Susan James was a great swimmer and loved to swim, so it was not unusual for her to jump in the water for a swim. Susan James, Lauren Hutchinson, Derek, and Derek's dog Bodie were all at the beach meeting Susan's crush, Tim Jensen. While Laura and Derek were collecting seashells on the beach, Susan went in for a walk with Tim. After Tim left in the excitement of everything, Susan decided to go for a swim. The current was too rough. Susan was taken under right away. Lauren was desperate to find help. She picked up Derek and runs to the parking lot to call Susan's mom. Two men jump into the water to help James, but it was too late. Mrs. James arrived almost immediately. The ambulance and police came and asked what happened. In a frantic outburst, Mrs. James says Susan jumped in the water to save the little boy she was babysitting. Lauren, young and not sure if she should tell the truth, just went with the story that Mrs. James told because it seemed easier. 11 years later, Derek approaches Lauren Hutchinson where she is selling jewelry and introduces himself as a little boy who was there when Susan James died. Lauren just began to tell the story of the sad day when she lost her best friend. Derek thought he was trying to solve a mystery, but he just helped Lauren relieve a weight she had been carrying about the truth of the sad day when Susan James died. Now we know the truth of what happened on South Beach to Susan James. Nice. This is a summary, but it sounds like a news article. I liked it. All right, and then here's Samuels. This year marks the 10-year anniversary of the drowning death of local South Beach hero Susan James. James, the daughter of local Martha Vineyard resident Madeline James, was 17 years old at the time of her death. Do you see how this is giving you just the facts? It's giving you a where, when, right? South Beach, Martha's Vineyard, who, Madeline James was the mom, 17-year-old Susan James, right? According to police reports and news interviews with family and friends at the time, Susan James was pulled into a riptide at South Beach. She was attempting to save a toddler she was babysitting. Although Susan loved the water and was a good swimmer, the currents were too strong for her to save herself. According to those closest to her, Susan James loved the water and often went swimming at the beach with friends. She was a freshman at the University of Maine. She was a good student who loved to play field hockey. Neighbors of South Beach said that Susan loved to help them after school. Her family said that she loved her younger brother and loved to play the piano. Family and friends have set up a memorial page on the internet in honor of Susan's life. And that often happens in the newspaper. You know, they always say that there is a memorial and what's going to happen. When will the funeral be? So beautiful job, guys. And notice, it could have been short, it could have been long, right? I loved all three of those. All right, now, getting to today's lessons. How many super sentences do you think you're going to do? 2? Yeah, you're going to do 2 super sentences today. So 2 super sentences. You're going to read with me, then you're going to do your super sentences. You're going to write a super sentence for 2 vocabulary words from today's reading. So when it says write a super sentence for 2, that means? I think it's the wording. So maybe I'm going to word it again. Ready? Let's see. Write a super sentence for 2 vocabulary words from today's reading. This means you are writing 2 sentences. 2. Meaning more than one. And then the words were those. Ominous is that dark. There was an ominous, it was an ominous night that led to very disturbing feelings. It was very disturbing for me because as I looked out, the night was ominous. Reconsider means to change. Sacrifice means you give something up. Injustice means something's wrong. We have an injustice that happened just recently in the news, right? And often in the news. So, I mean, that's a good one if you want to go just right away, right? There's many injustices in the world dealing with African Americans, Black Lives Matter, right? Official means it's stated, it happened. Axis, disregard it, recital, infinite. You're going to write a compound or complex sentence. All right, now, with that, let's see the changes. Looks like we already have a couple people doing the discussions. So today you're writing, why do you think Mrs. James did what she did? Was she right or wrong? This is an opinion, right? So I think Mrs. James did what she did to protect her daughter's legacy. In my opinion, it's so hard. Because as a mom, you don't want your daughter, you want your daughter to be known well, right? So in my opinion, I think she was wrong, right? Susan did make a mistake, right? It wasn't like Derek was not tended to, right? Lauren was right there. So it wasn't like she was doing anything wrong. She just was a teenager and she just went right into the water. Unfortunately, when she was wrong, by doing this, she led Derek's mom to have this guilt for 10 years. I mean, that's a really big thing that she put on somebody else. So I think that she was wrong, right? So why do you think she did what she did? She wanted her daughter to look good. She loved her. It was the last thing that she could give her daughter, right? So you have 2 questions and you need to give me examples from the text. So that means your answer should be at least 3 sentences. I would say at least 3 sentences, right? So how am I the only one? Oh, these are Ace. Ace yesterday got on the wrong question. Let's delete that. Let's delete this. All right, Tinsley was on. Nice job, Tinsley, getting ahead of the game. She did it last night. And Ace. Oh, I'm up early, but I'm going back to sleep in the morning. Oh, he was up really early. 5 o'clock, it's way too early to be up, right? All righty. So, you are more than welcome to work ahead. If you are getting in and you want to finish this book, finish the book. Finish reading the book. If you need tips for how to answer the questions, come and watch the morning message. Remember, whenever you write your answer, you can always click on these 3 buttons and come back and edit it. When it comes up, it says edit or delete. You want to edit it. So if you found out that you did something and you want to fix it, come back and edit it. Editing is a great tool. Alrighty, guys. Today we have our Zoom meeting. If there's anything you want to talk about, we're going to leave it at the end. I know there's a lot of crazy thing that's happening in this world. So we'll have a chance to talk about that. And if there's anything fun you want to do, message me message me, find your envelope, which is right up here. I think on iPads, it's over here, right? So message me and let me know what you'd like to do today during Zoom, all right? I hope you have a great Tuesday, and I will see you all later at 3. Have a happy day. Bye, guys.